Me personally, it's like I'm living my dream lifestyle right now. Like I don't have to work if I don't want to, but I know I can just go to the gym and have a really cruisy day and I'm still making sales and things are still ticking over. So I feel like I'm living my dream lifestyle. It's not a cheat code, but it's a fast track to get to that point you want to get to as well. If it really is important to you, you'll make it work.
Aaron, appreciate you coming in, and I'm excited to speak with you, learn more about your experience as a seller. We know you've been selling on Etsy for almost a year now and you found good success in it. Excited to learn all about it.
Yeah, awesome, man. I appreciate you for having me, first and foremost.
Can we start with a bit of a background story?
Yeah, I started back in March 2023, so it's been a year now. I believe the reason why I started in the first place was anyone wants like passive income, they want something on the side. So I just really looked at it alongside my original job that I was working. So it was fitness based and I run a fitness Etsy store now as well. So it was in conjunction with each other, just trying to get some extra income coming in. I wanted something passive, just started out of thin air really, to be honest.
And then you found that Etsy might be a good opportunity. Maybe I can put my listings up there. And did you have any expectations when you were selling on Etsy?
The funny thing is, one of my good friends who's also in the fitness industry, he wanted to buy because I have excellence videos, like I said, that I recorded and I'd created and spent so much time and effort into, and they were just sitting there doing nothing. My friend knew I had them and he bought them off me. I was like, oh, if I can sell it once, surely I can sell it somewhere else, and again and again. And that's where I looked into Etsy, and I didn't really expect too much. I just created a listing and then I had a couple of sales. I was like, okay, like things are starting to come into fruition.
So how long did it take you to start seeing success? But when you took it seriously, were you like, how long did that process make, creating all products, listing it on Etsy?
It was pretty quick, like getting my listings up, like learning that you were definitely like the next stage in terms of who I was following on Etsy. So it took around like 45 days to get those first initial sales. There was a little bit of time there, but yeah, it happened gradually. As I started to explore more like around Etsy, see what people were doing and see what my competitors were doing, I started to model what they were doing, not copy what they're doing, but model what they were doing, what was working. Because obviously like with Etsy, you can have these unique tools that tell you what people are making and what's selling, which is really great. And then I created my first, I'll call it my bigger product, because I'm in the fitness industry. I created a hero product around like a fitness program. And that really just like started to take the trajectory of the business where it is now.
And that's when you knew, okay, I gotta really spend more time into optimizing the shop and building a fully and taking it very seriously. So during this whole process, was there any challenges that you faced? Any initial challenges you had to try to overcome?
To be honest, the funny thing is, and I'm sure most people experience this, it's like the thing with not much happening. Like you create something or you do something and it's just not what you expected. Like the results aren't coming quick enough. It's taking time. It's taking time away from other things. So I think the initial just effort putting into something and it not paying off in that moment was quite challenging. Yes, for me, yeah, just the consistency of just keeping there and just believing in the bigger picture was quite challenging at the time.
Would you mind sharing some of your numbers, revenue, like how much are you making from Etsy a month?
Yeah, so I'll just look back because I'm terrible at remembering these sorts of things. I can confirm that in April 2023, that was my first, like I said, 3 sales. I made $180. But yeah, fast forward to June was when I made my first $1,000. So it was a couple months after that. And then in October, that's where I hit my highest point, which was 4,000, just over 4,000 in revenue, which is very exciting at the time and still is, that able to create something out of thin air and digitally as well and be so scalable and earning that sort of money that you would typically make from a full-time job. So yeah, fast forward to today, I had my highest month last month, which is just over 4,200. So it's stabilizing around that 4,000, probably for like the last 4 or 5 months now. But since being obviously in DFA as well, there's definitely been parts that I feel like personally have made the business better as a whole. Like I feel like if you want a long-lasting business, you have to create something that's long-lasting.
Could you expand a bit on that into what are some things, some examples you were able to implement to be like, hey, I'm gonna make this into a more sustainable business? Was there any specific things that you implemented?
Yeah, so number one, so I'll talk a little bit about DFA because I did want to It's funny because it was about 6 months ago, to be honest. I was actually going to reach out to work with you. And I know you had like your 1-to-1 spots, I think it was. And I was considering doing it. I was like, oh, at the time, it was like, it seemed like a lot of money. I was like, no, I'll just wait. But yeah, I eventually pulled the trigger because I saw a lot of your content, and I knew coming in it was going to be a lot of stuff, but allowing me to shed that away, what I do know, and just go back to basics and learn from the start again to, find out what I didn't know at the time. So obviously going through that process and just being at where I'm at now, there has been a few unique things. Number one is obviously changing the listings and making it more congruent with the business. And for me personally, like I said, that just makes me feel 10 times better compared to what the store did look like. And now what it does look like, I feel like it looks professional. It looks good. It looks, if I was going to consume and buy templates, that's where I would go. I wouldn't feel bad about going there because I can see it's professional. So that's been one thing. The being like amongst the community, I probably said this in a post in DFA actually, which is like surrounding yourself around like-minded people like yourself and your team and the people that are in the community. I feel like even though I can consider, not to be biased, that I am at probably a different point to most people, it's just about being in the network of people, what they're doing, their mindset around what they're doing in essence. Obviously it's around Etsy, they want to grow, they want to create passive income. And I believe, that is probably a hidden thing in most people's repertoire as such, is they don't lean into that at all. And I think that's such an undervalued tool to utilize this community.
And you get to learn from each other, to give each other feedback, check on each other's shops. So I'm glad that you're able to find the community aspect of it valuable. What are some advice that you would give to new sellers now if they were just starting out? And a lot of people are struggling with the product researching phase, like figuring out what their niche is. Do you think you have any tips or advice for people who are just starting out in that researching phase?
Yeah, this is quite an interesting space because I generally didn't like doing the product research side of things. I found it quite like tedious, but I know it is really efficient in getting ahead quicker. Like the research component in anything is always, it's going to give you confidence. I think for me personally, what has helped me is really starting in a niche that I understand, like starting in a niche that I have knowledge behind, even if it's a little bit. For me, it was quite different. I came from a fitness background, so I had a lot of fitness knowledge. And so that's really been able to help me with creating products, especially because I create my own products, but also understand like what is working, what's not working as well. When it comes down to like product research, yes, but also go with your strengths, go with the thing that you know best. And if you don't know anything, which is highly unlikely, but it's not going to take you long to really immerse yourself in whatever niche you want and to create that knowledge to give yourself, because the main thing is just having confidence, right? Just like knowledge will give you confidence.
Thank you for watching. I hope you gained some new insights to apply to your Etsy shop. If you're eager to truly turn your creativity into profit, then check out my Digital Freedom Academy. It's a complete step-by-step start-to-finish guide to master Etsy with digital products using my unique 4-phase Etsy Freedom framework. You'll discover how to research, how to create your products, the branding, and also how to launch successfully. We'll help you take out all of the guesswork. Myself and other coaches in the community will be there every step of the way to make sure that you succeed on Etsy, because I know how frustrating it can be trying to navigate this online venture alone. And trust me, this is going to save you time and energy. So if you want more details on how to join the community, just click the link below in the descriptions and let's get your Etsy seller journey started in the right path together. I'll see you there.